Hey, it's Patrick Rogers, and today we have the privilege to have Gerardo Flores Castro on the show. And Gerardo is the CEO of Play Hydrated. Welcome to the show, Gerardo.
Hi, thank you very much, Patrick, for the invitation. Gives me a great pleasure to be here with you today.
Yes, awesome, man. So a little bit about Gerardo. He is passionate about sports. He studied industrial engineering and has a master's degree in finance from Mexico City. He started a frozen food business with his family in 1999, so an entrepreneur for a long time. He held the CEO position there and ultimately sold and exited the company in 2020. He is now the founder and CEO of Play Hydrated, which is a company, we're going to get into it, but a company that creates zero sugar sports drinks. And I know it has a huge place in the marketplace. So again, Gerardo, great to have you. Before we dive into your company and to your journey, what's one interesting fact that not many people know about you?
Well, Patrick, everybody knows I do exercise and I eat healthy every day, but only my wife and very close friends and family know that I am pre-diabetic. So that's a interesting fact. It has to be on with the business.
Gotcha. So is that being pre-diabetic, is that what kind of inspired you or stimulated you, motivated you to develop this product?
Yes, that's correct. I started with a lot of sports since I was a kid, and this inspired me because of sports drinks. They have too much sugar, so that's what we are doing right now with Play Hydrated.
Okay. And so there's a lot of people out there that have, zero sugar. I mean, there's some sports drinks that have the zero sugar, right? But do you guys do it? What do you guys do differently than others? How do you differentiate yourself?
Yeah, Patrick. So as you know, in the market, these bottles where you have like 30 grams of sugar and stuff like that. Some of those companies has their own beverage products without no sugar, but they use sucralose to sweeten the beverage. They have maltodextrins. They use a lot of fillers and stuff like that. So what we do at Play Hydrated is remove all those sugars and all those bad chemicals that they destroy your gut.
Yeah. Awesome. So, well, and sucralose it's a lot worse than that too, right? I mean, doesn't it cause cancer? It causes weight gain for, I know specifically men around the hips. There's people with brain tumors, right?
That's correct, Patrick. Yeah, you can have a bottle of sports drink and say no sugar, but you don't know they have all of stuff that destroy your gut. Like over 70% of Americans consume too much sugar. So at Play Hydrated, we are on a mission to change that. So that's why we create a new kind of a sports drink with no sugar, artificial sweeteners, or chemicals.
Wow. And is that is the ingredient that you use to give it that sweetened taste, is that proprietary, or is it like a monk fruit or a stevia type thing, or?
We do a lot of technology on the sweetener part. We use just one part. As you know, stevia, it's a natural plant, but one part has the active taste and the other one has the sweetener. So we only take out the sweetener part with natural flavors and natural colors. So that's why we get a great taste.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. But that's a huge need in the marketplace. I mean, specifically coming from a guy like me, like I go to the gym, and if I forget there's so many areas like BCAAs. You can't even get a BCAA drink unless it has sucralose in it. You go to milk, muscle milk, sucralose, all of those, Gatorade, I'm not putting down anything, but Powerade Zero, all that stuff, it's all sucralose.
Yeah, you're correct. And the market actually there are three presentations. There are these bottles with rusty water with sugar and chemicals that it's impossible to have it all 100% natural because it has to be on shelf a lot of time. And there's a lot of sticks too that they have powder, but most of them either they have 11 grams of sugar or they also have these fillers that we're talking about. So what we did here in Play Hydrated, we did it in an effervescent tablet. It's 100% zero sugar, 100% natural. It has all electrolytes like sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. It has all vitamins B for energy. It has vitamin C, D3, and zinc for the immune system. As you know, vitamin C helps you hydrate your skin for all those athletes that are in winter sports, or are swimming,
Wow.
or are golfing.
Very cool.
And we also have vitamin D3 that helps the immune system for the blood pressure for all athletes, and zinc. Zinc is an extraordinary mineral that helps us absorb water. And lastly, we added an amino acid for recovering your muscles. So everything that I have talked to you is in a simple effervescent tablet. You just put it in 16 ounces of water, and cold water, and you have your sports drink. And well, as you know, America is one of the few countries that you can drink tap water. So that's a huge advantage for all the people that are listening now. They just put one tablet into into his preferred bottle, and they can prepare their sports drink anywhere. So it's ideal for all of them.
Wow. Yeah. So it's a tablet then. It's a tablet form. It's not like a powder mix, and it's not a pre-made liquid.
Yeah, it's an effervescent tablet, but when
Cool.
the tablet dissolves, it doesn't have any like bubbles and stuff like that. It just gets like regular sports drinks. So
Yeah. There's
that's not part
no
of our technology.
carbonation.
No
Gotcha.
carbonation at all.
Yeah. Very cool. So walk us through your journey. I know you have a lot to share with respect to, how you raised money, and then how you're really positioning yourself in the company.
Yeah, well, I knew that I had to do two things. One, it had to be a product that it had to be 10 times better than the ones that are in the market. And the other thing is that we need to make a marketing campaign that would be very strong. So that's why we have this campaign. It's zero sugar. We actually have a documentary on YouTube that it's called Sugar Addicts. That it's real people that they used to be real athletes, but they were drinking too much sugar, and they have now some of them are pre-diabetic, and some of them are diabetic. So as you know, 1 out of 3 Americans are pre-diabetic, and 1 out of 10, like Biden says a few weeks ago, are diabetic. So it's a real problem. As you know, $1 out of $4 in the US is spent on diabetes, and that's $237 billion.
Wait, what do you mean? What $1 out of $4 in the US is spent on diabetes? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, all of the healthcare, all the healthcare expense of the US government, the $1 or every $4 spent on healthcare in the US goes to diabetes problems.
Really?
So it's a yes, and that's $237 billion.
That's insane. This is a huge market. I mean, not a beneficial thing, but yeah, okay. Wow, that's insane.
It's something that we have to change.
Yeah.
That's correct, Patrick. It's a lot of money wasted on diabetes problems and stuff like that. And if you add $90 billion on reduced productivity of the people that are very tired with types of sugar and stuff like that, it's a lot of money that we have to reduce.
And I love that vision of your company. That's the vision and the mission is to reduce the diabetic worldwide. I imagine not just in the United States, but yeah, it's a huge issue. I was down in Puerto Rico, and diabetic down there, and it's just insane how I think it's probably, if it's $1 every $4 in the United States, it much more so in Latin countries. I know it's more of a huge issue. I just don't know the statistics behind it.
Yeah, you're correct. There is a lot of problems, not only in the US, but it's something that we're trying to change, and we're changing actually with our mission now in our product. So we have our mixed powders mixed up in sugar and salt. So you need to have more sodium to hydrate yourself, and you need to reduce your sugars. So we have it ups and downs. We have it up and down. We have to change that balance.
Yeah. So basically, going into all of this, you knew that you had to be 10 times better than your competition. You had to differentiate yourself. We might have touched on, what you would call your unique value proposition. Let's, if we could go back to that, what would you say is the maybe top 1 or 2 things that differentiate you? Because there's probably other people in the marketplace, right, that have somewhat of a natural sugar, right? That's not so much a
That's
sucralose or maltodextrin or whatever they're called. What would you say is your unique value proposition compared to those guys?
well, our value proposition, our differentiation on the market, it's the no sugar and no fillers. Because there are like effervescent tablet that they have like 1 gram or 2 grams of sugar. It's not a lot, but for us that's still nonsense, no? And also there's a lot of things that are not completely natural. They say a lot of sweeteners are natural, but actually they're not. So that's a thing that we would like to change, because sugar, it's not good for you even in the quantities that bottle of sports drink have. But the other thing that you were talking about, maltodextrin and sucralose, that's even worse. So I encourage the people to read the ingredients and see if these ingredients are there. I think that's something that they have to look at.
Yeah, for sure. So walk us through, how did you, I know you said it was one of the things that you really learned a lot from, and maybe help other people, is the actual process that you went through in raising the money for the company.
Yeah, what we did, Patrick, was at first we knew we had to raise money. So we were in a lot of contact with angel investors. We went to Kickstart. We went to a lot of VC capitals, all these venture capitals too. And they were offering us $15,000, $100,000, even $250,000. But we knew if we are going to hit the big guys, and we have to be in this big market, very competitive market, we knew we have to raise more money. So what we did to not dilute ourselves in a lot of equity, what they did, we joined 3 individual investors with experience on this market, and we raised about $1 million. With this $1 million, all the financial sheets that you can put whatever you want, and it helps you to get what's going to be, if it's going to be factable, this product, this company. So it only makes sense raising $1 million. So that's what we did, so we can produce our own videos, we can have the team with talent that we needed, and that's the only way that I tell you. I was very tempted to start with 15 or $100 million, but I didn't see in a short term to take that money and waste maybe 1 year of my time and effort to see, okay, I already spent this money, if it wasn't enough, and I didn't want to wait on the second round. So what I did was present to individual investors, people that believe in me, people that believe in our product, on what we were doing, and we only started when we already have that type of money to make the company make sense, no? And I think it was the right choice for us.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it was. So to kind of summarize, kind of the lesson learned there is, you had a lot of people that were willing to give you 15,000, 20,000, even $200,000. But that's only a little bit of money, short-term thing, up to a year, maybe, whatever that is. And it doesn't sound like they were really invested into what you're doing, really believing in the vision and the mission. And so you held out for the long term. You held out for long-term investors with more money to bring people on board. And now it sounds like you have, because a relationship with your investors, and I've heard this time and time again from other CEOs, is you have to find investors who believe in what you're doing.
Yeah, you're actually, that's correct, Patrick. Like I say, if you invest in, well, just to know, if you have these investors, they have to have the same value and the same mission as you, because you're actually like marrying them for a long time.
Absolutely.
So you have to be, it's going to be good times and bad times. So you have to make sure these guys will be good on the bad times, when it really matters, no? Because this company that they were offering us $100,000 or even $200,000, these are companies that they invest $2 or $5 million in 20 companies, and they just see, okay, who did the cut and who didn't do the cut. So they are not really into the guts of the company. They don't necessarily get the culture of the company. And also, if you're done, you're done. So that's something very important that we saw, and we took 8 months more to get it the right way. We wanted to start with the right team, with the right cash flow, with the right strategy, and also with the right amount of money.
Yeah, because then you don't have to go back and look for more investors, halfway through your journey of just getting to, commercialization. And you also said too that getting the people that believe in the product and align on values with respect to zero sugar has also been critical for you in building your team as well.
Yeah, that for us is very important because sugar for us and diabetes and all those things it's an issue. So to get out our culture and our stakeholders and everything, they have to believe in these types of stuff. They have to see diabetes. They have to see, even when we start our team and we're getting this team growing up, 30% of our interviews is about sugar. And it's impressive because every person has a family team. It has a friend that has diabetes and this stuff. So it's real life, and that they are very committed. They really believe in changing this diabetic disease that we call to get it upside down.
Right. No, that's fantastic. Yeah, and when you have a team of people who are behind your culture and behind the vision, motivating, a lot of people, a lot of CEOs struggle with motivation and accountability and all that. And when you have a company where they're aligned with the vision and values, the motivation kind of takes care of itself, huh?
The motivation takes out of themselves because every person that goes to in our team, they are really convinced of the problem. It's really nonsense for all our team. They have passion, but for all it's nonsense for people athletes. For example, athletes do exercise. These athletes have this nutrition person, they have this training person, they have a lot of team, so they can be at the perfect point. So it doesn't make sense to these people have all these team, these nutritions and everything, and they can get even more than 100, 150 grams of sugar per practice. So it doesn't make any sense. So when we explained that type of nonsense to our team, they are completely convinced, and they are actually excited to change this mission and to change this world. So for us, it's a waste of time to keep trying to keep this tip motivating. If one person of our team is not motivated, then he or she is not the person to be in our company. We just look at like that.
Yeah, you bet. And something else, speaking of people, you were kind of talking about some lessons learned that you've experienced as a CEO is you in the past, you didn't used to fire people quick enough.
Well, just to tell you that a mentor someday told me that we have to hire slowly and we have to fire fast. So yes, that was a great advice. We're doing the slow part, but in the past, I get a lot of people. I know people are complicated, but I like to talk to people about their families, about what they're doing, just to know them better.
Sure.
So I get better. I get like very emotional with them. So I used to be the guy that, okay, I'm giving you a chance, but don't screw it up again. And now with Play Hydrated and a lot of from a lot of years to this point, fire quick. Nobody has to be in the company, and always my lesson was someone is going to come and it's going to come better. No, so that's something that I have been learning, that I encourage to everybody to do it.
Yeah, I love it. It's funny. One of my clients, actually, we just had a call today where he didn't trust his gut for a while. And we had the conversations, and I this person was kind of a victim, and I told him, I was like, well, almost in every single circumstance, a CEO who has somebody who is a victim mentality and just chronic victim, it's not like an acute thing, just like one situation, they're just a chronic victim, it's everybody else's fault. I've never had a circumstance where they didn't have to end up letting that person go, or the person left. It just they didn't come to the table with it and make it happen quickly. And so it happened over 6 months or 8 months, but in the meantime, that person is being toxic to everybody around the team. And he experienced the same exact thing. This person finally left, but not after like poisoning a number of people.
That's exactly right. You have a team of whatever number you have. Only one person can poison a lot of persons. So you have to get rid of that person also. And as a CEO, your major responsibility is to get the boat afloat. No,
Yeah.
so that's your responsibility. That's your work. That's what you are hired to do. So I mean, first is the company. Later on are the persons. No, so that's why you have to look at it, because if there's no company, there's no jobs. So
Yeah, yeah, totally. So you've got this huge, this grandeur vision, which I love, right? Helping end diabetes, and you're coming out with a sports drink, not coming out. You have a sports drink, which is sugar-free and it's a natural. How are you even dicing up and approaching your scaling and your market penetration strategy?
well, we are basically on three parts. One, that it's the most fun part, is that we are sponsorships a lot of athletes on basketball,
Okay,
football,
awesome.
on we're sponsorship tennis, gymnastics, all of basically all the sports in college. But what we find out is that NBA and NFL players, they want this product too. So now we are sending product for free to all these guys. This was just amazing. So that's one part that
Wow.
we're doing. So there are basically like our influencers. We're making beside like 20 or 25 contracts per month. So that's basically one contract for athlete per day.
That's
That's that
exciting, man.
that's a lot. So that's one thing that it's going to be very, very important. No,
Pretty soon you're going to
this
have a
is
water cooler with Play Hydrated on it, and they're going to be dumping over to the player's head instead of Gatorade.
well, that's the vision. A lot of that's incredible, because they have been contact us, a lot of college teams and schools for kids, that is this product is ideal for kids too. But they are getting in touch to us so we can send in the sports drink. It's very easy to send by FedEx or UPS, these types of products. You just take these tablets, dump it into these gallon containers, and in 1 minute you have a sports drink. So it's better for the water boy. He doesn't even have to be carrying a
Right.
lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
You just throw it in a tab. Cool.
Yeah, so it's better. So that's one thing. The other thing is that a lot of people that do sports things and stuff like that are in YouTube, seeing the best goals, the best 10 players of baseball or whatever. So we're actually very strong on YouTube, on that, in two channels, on YouTube and also in TV, like in special channels of ESPN sponsorships, a lot of games. That's the other thing. And the other thing that we're doing right now, we are partnering with Active, for example, that it's a company that has all the Ironman's registration, all the triathlons, stuff like that, to get to those people that they consume this, and they're the most that they should be the most worried about what type of ingredients they're getting to the body. I used to do triathlons and marathons, and in a practice I did more
Right.
than 100 grams of sugar. If you put 100 grams of sugar in a table, you won't believe what kind. It's a lot. You just
Well, what do they say? Isn't it like one can of Coke is 60 teaspoons of sugar?
That's
Is
correct.
that about right?
Yeah, that's about right, Patrick. You're correct. And if you see that, because you can see these little
Yeah.
uh, no, these little sticks, powder sticks to your coffee and stuff like that. You can see 5 grams, and you can see, okay, that's a lot of sugar. Imagine one guy in a Starbucks putting two two sticks of sugar. That's a lot. That's only 10 grams. Now multiply it for 10. So that's way too much.
Yeah. Yeah. That's way too much. Wow. That's just insane. Um, Awesome. So we've covered a lot of things. We've covered just from teamwork to vision, differentiation to how you're scaling. Anything else that we haven't covered that has just been one of the keys to your success?
I think one key of my success is, I think that if you have good intentions and meaningful solutions that matter as much as a high quality product, you have great chances to get success. So it's
Yeah.
good intentions, meaningful solutions, and high quality products. I think we have the high quality products because we have no sugar. It's 10 times better than the competition. Then good intentions, well, I think that's most of the part that we have been covering here. And meaningful solutions, we're also very careful about the environment. We are reducing 98% of the plastic. So like you said, it's
That's
not
true.
the same to be carrying from a Sam's Club or something like that, 48 bottles of rusty water with sugar to your house. Either you can order by our website, and in 2 days you have 40 tablets in 4 different flavors. So in natural way, and even more, it's not expensive. It's actually more expensive, the bottle. So because they have to have all these logistics, trucks, this plastic, whatever. So it's a win-win for all the people that do sports.
Very cool, man. So if you were going to hire a CEO to take the reins for your company, what's the one book that you would require he or she read before taking over for you?
Well, this is a very simple book that is called Scale Up from Verne Harnish. That's spelled Berne, and then Harnish. And I like it a lot because it has 4 things in the structure that I see it on a table. A table has to be steady with 4 legs. And those 4 legs for me, and this is what the book talks about, is first you have to have a strategy, because if you don't have a strategy, it's like war. You're out.
Right.
Then the most part for me, it's execution. You can have this great strategy, but if you don't have the team and the correct things to do a great execution, then nothing will happen. The other thing is the persons, because you need to have persons to get the strategy and also the execution. And the last part that it's most important for all of the business, but we see it at last, is the cash flow. Because if you do a good strategy, good execution, and you have a good team, then the cash flow will come. So with those 4 things, then you can have a steady table, a steady business. So I think it's good.
Yeah, I love Verne Harnish. The Scaling Up book is amazing, and he had his predecessor book, the 18. Oh gosh, I forget what it's called. Yeah, it's a book that's very similar to it, but it's kind of meant for smaller customers, smaller clients. It's by Verne Harnish as well. 18 habits or masterful habits of business or something like that. I forget what it's called, but it's a great book. Awesome. So what I'd like to do is take just a couple minutes and summarize my key takeaways today from our time together. One is the importance and the criticality of the unique value proposition and how you're really differentiating yourself in the marketplace. In order to be disruptive, you have to be 10 times better than your competition and differentiate yourself. Number 2, I thought was a great takeaway, is holding out for the right investors. And the right investors from this term of the kind of money, but also their vision and values and alignment. And on the alignment of vision and values, the same thing for your team. Only bring on people who are passionate about what you're doing, because then they're going to be more motivated, just everything is so much nicer. Slow to hire, quick to fire. And the other one I thought was great was good intentions, meaningful solutions, and high quality products. If there was one takeaway that you would really want the audience to absorb from our time together today, what would that be?
Well, I think if you're going to play hydrated. Just kidding.
There it is.
Just kidding. But the real thing is that I think most persons have their vision, their mission, or their culture and everything. But I think most of them are really like reading on books and forgotten. For us, our culture, I think it's the most important thing, because culture goes to the marketing strategy. Culture is what you believe, is what your team believe. It's what you're going. It's the how you're going to get in the business. Because some people, they say, okay, how are you going to remedy this problem? Okay, with this product, okay, this product is great, but how is this product is going to be on the lives changing of your customers? So culture is not something that it's on the books. For us, culture is something that you have to live every single day and believe with your team. So that's something that it's very strong for us. For us, our culture, as we have been talking about this podcast, is sugar. So that's a very strong part of our culture, and we live by that. No?
So you won't see someone drinking a Gatorade drink in your workplace.
Well, just to Patrick, my kids play these games of NBA on these video games and stuff like that. Every 30 seconds, there's a commercial of Gatorade. So
Yeah.
I told my kids, I'm only playing basketball with you on one quarter. I can't stand it anymore. But that's our vision. We're changing with these athletes. Then we're scaling up to NBA, NFL. We're doing college teams, and someday you're gonna see us on these video games that right now Minecraft and all those types of new games are coming out. So there's a lot of opportunity to get young kids start drinking the right sports drinks.
Love it, man. Yeah, start them out early, get to good habits, healthy habits by the time before their habits are formed, get to them early. So fantastic, man. If our listeners wanted to reach out and order your product, how can they do that?
Well, they can order our product at playhydrated.com, or you can look at us at Amazon. And if you want to contact me, LinkedIn, it's my favorite platform. I'm very active there. So happy to talk to you, happy to talk to any of your people that are listening here. And
thanks, man.
Great.
Yeah, and we'll have your LinkedIn profile in the podcast page section for that. So fantastic. Gerardo, thanks again for being on the show, man. This was fantastic.
No, thank you very much, Patrick. And thank you for the opportunity to explain what we are doing and what we are changing, how we are changing the world in sports.
Awesome. Yeah, fantastic. Well, I can't wait to have you back on the show in 6 months or a year to track your progress and see how you're doing. So look forward to that. For the listeners, please hit the like and subscribe button and help us spread the word about the show and what we're doing here. We're helping the next generation of leaders and CEOs be that much more successful. With that, this is your host, Patrick Rogers, and we'll see you in the next show. Thanks a lot.